Hey guys, wanted to go over a news article that I think reflects what's going on in the market extremely well, as far as the market being in a bubble. And these are things that you just don't see at the top. I had this discussion with Lynn Alden the other day. Really fascinating. And I think you guys will find it interesting as well. So if you haven't heard, there's been a lot of activity in the stock GameStop, which was the most shorted stock on the exchange. It had over 100% of the outstanding shares were shorted, meaning there's shorts on leverage. And what happened is kind of reflecting what I've been talking about as far as the social media impact on the bubble we're in right now, and how potentially this bubble can grow even bigger and last longer than preceding bubbles, such as in 2008, or maybe a better example would be at the end of the 1990s, so the dot-com bubble, because we just didn't have these echo chambers. We didn't have a constant barrage of Instagram, TikTok that were just hitting our phones and just supplying us with more echo chambers and FOMO. And it goes back to that saying that the market can remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent. But that was back in the day prior to social media. So I think that saying is true, but it's that now on steroids, or it's that times 10 in this current market environment. And this is a great example. So brick and mortar video game retailer has been a popular short target on Wall Street. GameStop is a hot topic in online chat rooms, Twitter and Reddit, especially in Reddit. I was talking about this with Lynn, and I also talked about this with Jesse Felder in my interview last week. As some retail investors and day traders aim to push shares higher and squeeze out short sellers. The explosive rally in GameStop is showing no signs of slowing down, as retail investors talking in chat rooms and hedge funds rushing to cover their short bets against the stock pushed it above $150 a share. To give you some context, just a few months ago, GameStop was selling at $6 a share. So, I mean, it's just incredible what it's done. And I'll go to a chart on Yahoo just momentarily so you guys can get an idea. Oh, here's a chart, but this is just a 5-day chart. it's not going back a couple months. I'll go to that one. It's even more impactful. But here's where I think it gets really interesting. One post on the popular Reddit thread, Wall Street Bets, said, "I'm not selling until at least $1,000 plus." So meaning the shares of GameStop get to at least $1,000. The post quickly drew more than 2,000 comments. So if you're not following this, what's going on is they're crowdfunding or crowdsourcing market manipulation. So they'll get a group of 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 people together and say, hey, listen, go out there. We've got a target stock. It's GameStop, and it's got this huge short position. So we want to try to create a short squeeze, meaning drive the stock higher, so all of those investors who are short the stock are forced to buy back shares, driving the stock even higher and making this kind of parabolic trajectory to the upside with the stock price. And of course, all those guys buy these call options that are super, super, super cheap, because they're buying call options, let's say at $100 a share when it's at $6. And so they're just getting these call options for like pennies, because the probability is so low, because the market makers don't understand what they're trying to do or what they are going to do behind the scenes. And basically the market makers are the people that are kind of selling them. It's like an insurance bet. So when you're buying a call option, you're saying, okay, well, I'm going to pay 25 cents to have the right to buy this at $6 at a strike price of 100. So the person selling the call would be like, okay, the probability of that is like 0. So I'll sell that to you for 25 cents. But they don't understand that the probability is a lot higher than they think because of this online crowdsourcing. They're not sitting there monitoring Wall Street bets. Although, I mean, what are we going to see in the future? There's probably going to be hedge funds that create algorithm, and there's going to be algos created to monitor Reddit and Twitter and try to ride the backs of all of these guys and gals who are trying to manipulate the market. It's just, I mean, to say that the stock market right now is a casino is, I think that's unfair to casinos. It's just getting absolutely crazy. And then this individual on CNBC from Loop Capital, this is very much being driven by retail, individual investors, many of them trading on Robinhood, many of them trading on options. And and they're just getting their trades and what they're going to do in these and on these Reddit threads. And I talked to Lynn about this. I don't know if this is legal. It's just, there's a lot of gray area here. But my point is, you do not see this at the bottom of a market. You don't see this when the stock market is cheap. This is an indication of just how massive this bubble is. Let's check out that chart from GameStop really quick. And I mean, just today, look at the price action. It started off today at 96 or so. And then 2 hours into trading, or an hour into trading, it got up to $159, almost $160 a share. I mean, up 60% basically in an hour, and then crashes down to under hundreds. Down. And then, I mean, then it crashed down right here to 61. And this is a 1 day chart. This isn't a 2-year chart, a 1 day chart. So it went from, call it 95, up to 160, down to 60. And then now it's back up to, call it 79, something like that, looks like. Jeez, that is some serious volatility. But that's what we're seeing right now. And again, this is the type of volatility that you see at the top of a market. But what's unusual is generally you don't see this volatility that's prompted, where the catalyst is actually a Reddit thread or something on social media, and them buying call options. So, I mean, who knows how this plays out, but I have no opinion on how it ends, other than it'll end badly. I can assure you of that. Just more to say and point out another indicator of how insane this stock market is right now. See you on the next video.